Hi, my name is Mr. Lenz, and I want to talk to you today about what it means to be a percussionist. The two things come to mind when I think about percussionists: versatility and responsibility. Versatility because you're responsible for learning multiple instruments at the same time. In the first couple years of instruction, primarily, you're responsible for learning bells and snare drum. This is where you'll spend the majority of your practice time and lesson instruction time playing. And so let's start off with the bells here. For the bells, they will look a lot like this. You'll have a bell kit that you'll bring back and forth from home to school to practice with, and you'll have mallets similar to this. Bell parts usually double high woodwind or high brass lines in band music, and they sound a lot like this. So, keyboard experience is very helpful in learning mallets and progressing on those. So it's not required, but it is helpful in those beginning stages. Next, the thing that you'll be learning will be the snare drum. In addition to your bell practice kit, you would have a practice pad that you bring back and forth to school to practice on. Snare drum, probably a little more familiar to many of us. But when you're a percussionist, this is one of the instruments that you get to practice. You'll have snare sticks in your snare drum, and you get to work on a lot of different skills: single strokes, double strokes, different rudiments, and that sort of thing. And this is how the snare drum sounds. So that gives you an idea of what to expect with the snare drum. Like I said, the majority of your lesson time will be, and practice time is spent on these two, learning, mastering the notes and rhythms and mallets, becoming very proficient with those keyboard instruments, and then also learning to play the snare drum. Now, once full concert band rehearsals start, you'll also get to dive into some of the auxiliary instruments and other battery instruments. For instance, the bass drum is this big drum right here, and you get to use the big mallet for the big drum. And this provides a really fun color to the band's sound. In addition to that, you would also be able to play some of the auxiliary instruments like suspended cymbals. We have these long cymbal rolls or crash cymbals for that big splash of sound to add some excitement to the music. Some of the other things that, as you get further along in your playing, that you might get a chance to play would be the timpani, which would be these large drums back here. And you would also have the chance to play some of the other auxiliary instruments like triangle or shaker or tambourine, a number of different what we call little percussion toys that add a lot of color and excitement to music. So like I said earlier, being a percussionist means being very versatile and responsible, because oftentimes you're playing different instruments on every single piece that you play. So it requires that sort of commitment to practicing multiple instruments all at the same time. Hopefully that's helpful, and we look forward to seeing you here soon.